Oh, wait. Hey, the microphone wasn't on. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Hey, welcome to Benchmonster TV. I am the Benchmonster.
And I'm Ashley Lynn Condre.
Boy,
Thank you for joining us.
I'm embarrassed. Hey, I make
Off to
mistakes.
a great start. Here we are.
I make mistakes once in a while, and when it's live, you just got to deal with it. Sometimes it isn't perfect, and
Wow.
I'm not perfect either. I'm sitting here talking
It's
to
our
a dead
first time,
microphone.
yeah,
Wow.
gosh.
Oh.
Well, we were testing it. How was it not?
Well, the cat was meowing, and there was some chaos upstairs, and there was
Yeah.
some theatrics going
He
on.
was crying, man. He was throwing a tantrum.
So
about
I'm sorry about that, ladies
Sorry,
and gentlemen.
guys.
Well, I guess I say it won't happen again because it probably will.
Probably will.
Yeah.
So we'll apologize in advance for the next time.
But anyway, let's cut right to the chase. We got a lot to talk about today, and let's start off with the most important topic of the day. Is this Trap Chronicles book.
Yeah, we both read a new book this week.
By Tod Becraft. He sent me this book last week, and I want to cover it and review it today. What can I say about the book? It took me 4 hours to read. It was hard to put down. It was very easy to read, very comprehensive, in-depth book on trapezius training, neck training, and just a host of other things, overtraining, supplementation, workout programs, and their testimonials. I mean, it was a fun read, and it wasn't a super complicated read. Every chapter flowed into the next, and what I mean by that is, a lot of times, if I was to write a book again, I have a tendency to go from one chapter and veer completely off path, and then have to come all the way back and get back to the next chapter. This was chapter after chapter. It was on point. It was straightforward. Very knowledgeable man that wrote it, and I'm just happy that he was able to send this book out here. I actually performed some of the exercises in the gym today, actually, and I didn't realize how weak of a trapezius muscle I have. I thought I was doing some great trap training on Thursdays when I train traps and forearms. And I haven't even scratched the surface yet. I got a lot of work to do. I in fact, went out and purchased a neck harness. And going to get down with that, too. I mean, I'm going to take this to the next level and get some trapezius muscles up to the ears here. And just a very impressive book. Ashley's been hogging it for the last 5 days. I haven't even seen it. I got it last Saturday, and I saw it Saturday and Sunday, and the rest of the week she had it. And she wanted to cover some interesting things that she had read in there.
I really enjoyed it. It was a really good book. I don't really train traps very often. So I was like, well, is this book really going to be for me? But Ryan was talking about how great it was. And so I decided to give it a read. And I was really glad it did. Great book. It definitely inspired me to start training traps consistently, throw them into my training. And gave great tips on how to do that. Gave all the different exercises that you need to grow your traps with great explanations of how to perform each exercise correctly.
In great detail.
It also lays out very detailed exactly what you need to do programs. Week to week, exactly what you need to be doing. And so that part's really great, and I definitely am going to start incorporating more trap training. But I also really enjoyed how it talked about a lot of different things. It wasn't just for traps. It was a lot of great general information. I really liked the part about overtraining. That section was really helpful and had some great information. I really liked the supplement section. I definitely want to start trying, what was it, beetroot extract?
Beetroot extract, yeah.
The book names a lot of different supplements, some of which I already knew, some of which I didn't. One of those being beetroot extract. It gives a great explanation and good details as to, what is so great about beetroot extract. And it sounds like something I definitely want to start trying. Like, it's got a lot of great positive things about it. Just a lot of great information in this book. There were some things that I had already knew, but it kind of reminded me of, you know, how important they are. And then there were some things that I kind of had heard about, but the book gave me a greater understanding. And then there were a lot of things that were, brand new to me. And so I just really enjoyed it. It was a really well-written book, very pleasant to read.
I mean, this guy's philosophy on neck training is above and beyond anything that I've ever heard before. And so it was a real interesting read for me because I don't know every specific muscle in the human body. I mean, triceps, biceps, but he goes in great deal in here explaining some of the muscles in the trapezius and the neck. And I was just overwhelmed by the wealth of information within this book. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but he sent me a link this evening. I posted it here in the chat room. It's basically for the podcast tonight. He's if you buy his book tonight, I believe it's $5 off and free shipping, and it's a signed copy of this book. And I highly recommend picking it up. I mean, what can you not love about trap training? I mean, I don't deadlift per se, but you know, traps and a thick neck are kind of like those things. When you walk around in general public, you know, you may have a barrel chest and some big arms, but if you got a neck and some trapezius muscles also.
I was going to show, I meant to send it to you. Sorry, I totally cut you off.
No.
I meant to send it to you so that we could get a better picture, but this picture of him, this is Todd Becraft, and this picture, I think, is credentials in itself for why this man is qualified to write a book on trap training. I know you're not gonna be able to see it very well.
Well, hold it up.
Darn it! I should have sent it to you. But
I want to give a nickname to Todd.
Those traps.
Yeah.
Those are crazy.
I think it's safe to call him the Trap Monster. You know, I'm the Benchmonster, but this guy's the Trap Monster, and
very
very impressive individual. I put together a little slideshow, and I know Todd didn't really want me to posting this bench press video of his, but you know, I was on the internet looking for pictures and things to post about him, and I pulled up actually the video. I had just several slide pictures of Todd and in his training in his gym, and a couple wrestling pictures. But I just wanted to make clear that on the bench video that you're about to see, that it was an outdoor meet, and it was this is Todd speaking in a text message to me, and I just want to clarify this. The outdoor meet you're about to see was my retirement meet from competing in powerlifting. I had done my 551 bench. I had also worked hard at 275 pounds. Then I decided to diet down to 242. I ended up weighing 233. I benched a 501, beat Soren Sorensen, and that's a really cool name you don't hear anymore. Soren Sorensen, if anybody knows who he is in the Pacific Northwest. And I got first place. It was a great way to go out. The first time I ever benched 500 in a meet, I weighed 262, so it was exciting that I dieted down to 233 and benched in a contest. Terry Lures hosted the meet, and Gus Rethwich was the head judge. And I just want to make that clear before we play this little thing I have here. Let's go ahead and play that right now. I believe Todd has his own wrestling figure, which is kind of cool.
And somebody asked on here, wasn't Todd Becraft a wrestler?
Yes, he was.
That was one of the things he did, along with being a powerlifter.
And for everybody's information, I plan on having Todd on as a guest to talk about strongman training, trap training, professional wrestling that he did in a future episode. I wanted to have him on this week, but the first spot for the first guest is up for Tiny Meeker. We'll talk about that later. But I just posted some pictures here of Todd, and here's his contest. And this was in 1995, back when I was 198 pounds and benching 400. And Todd puts up a 468 there, and then cracks out a 501. And that's Gus Rethwich as the head judge. If it wasn't for Gus and the Wabble Federation, I probably wouldn't be where I'm at today. He opened the door for me in the competitive powerlifting or bench pressing world. Trap Chronicles, the definitive edition. Please look for the link in the chat field there and grab his book. It's money well spent.
Read, yep. You'll be
Road Warrior Hawk there with some trapezius muscles. And I'm a big fan of the Road Warriors, and the Road Warriors are mentioned in the book, in my testimony as well, when I talk about trap training, Todd Becraft, and everything else that's in there. Road Warriors were a big inspiration to, especially Hawk, you know, to having trapezius muscles. I mean, the guy had a neck and traps up to his ears, and he earned those in the gym. I mean, those aren't just easy to grow per se. It's you gotta shrug your ass off. And looking at some of the workout routines in that book, I've been sandbagging in my trap training. I am embarrassed to say. I go in and maybe do some dumbbells and some. In fact, we were in there today, and I was doing the barbell shrugs. I wanted to video it, but nothing My traps got fatigued at 4 plates. I didn't go any higher. I was kind of embarrassed, but I got work to do, and that's what this book is going to do. It's going to kick me in gear and kick my ass to train trapezius muscles and grow these traps up a little bit and increase my circumference of my neck a little bit. And you know, in case somebody tries to punch me sometime, I can withstand a punch or something. So
Perfect.
Yeah, boom. Yeah, see, I can take it.
Practice that.
But yeah, I just wanted to give a quick overview on that book and post a little slideshow and like I said, have Todd Becraft on our show at some point. And
Very knowledgeable.
very knowledgeable individual. And we will talk wrestling. We will talk trap training, strongman, old war stories. It'll be fun. So look forward to that.
Definitely.
As we go on, should we go into your videos?
We can.
Yeah, this is kind of the format. We have Ashley has a few workout videos here, and then we have some lifter spotlights, obviously, and then a couple fun things. I don't know if we'll find those interesting, but we'll just run right along here. Here's Ashley's deadlift from the gym. When was this?
This was last Friday.
Last Friday, okay.
Some light work, 5 sets of 6.
I noticed it was very easy.
Yeah, my collarbone's been bothering me quite a bit, so I've been going a little bit lighter.
Sumo stance there, semi-sumo.
Today was sumo. Also been kind of playing around with sumo as well. I like to do both.
Okay.
Conventional and sumo. So this was a sumo day.
Well, this looks effortless.
It was pretty easy. Felt good. No pain in my collarbone, so it was an okay weight.
Easy reps. Good form. I know a little bit about deadlifting technique. I mean, I do the lift, but
What's your next technique?
yeah, expert on form and technique. Yeah, not the actual lift.
Complimenting me, I'll agree with you.
When I pull a deadlift, I pull it caveman style, bar 2 inches in front of me, and straight legs. Can't really do that anymore because it'll all my L5S1 will pop out of my body. The next video. I had a traumatic experience this week in the gym.
I didn't want to post this. I'm just going to start off by saying that. I really didn't.
You were forced to.
It's embarrassing. No, I wasn't forced to.
Well,
you had to you talked me into it all week and ended up bribing me.
Yeah. Hey.
To send this video to him so he could post it.
Yeah, we'll play it once, and if you catch
pretty reluctant to post it.
If you catch the audio, you'll catch the audio, and we'll talk about it after we play this. So just she's squatting how much? 300
this one
something.
was 325.
Yeah, so we were
working up to my top sets.
And I'm a good spotter.
And it wasn't a good start.
Yeah, but let me know what you guys think about this, and if you know what's going on after the video's over, we'll talk about it.
I think you'll see.
I'll see you later. Good job. Good job today. Now, I know I said I never wear a mask, but when you're spotting sometimes, you might need one.
Things happen.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
I was pressing hard. I was being tight.
Hey, it happens to everybody. It happened to me on leg press one time. And
one time.
Well, maybe a couple times. You know, accidents happen, and we wanted to make light of it, and sorry about that. But this is my show.
I wasn't going to do it.
And we have to talk about things. We have to make fun of ourselves once in a while. It was an embarrassing moment, and
a little bit.
I don't know if I'll ever spot again without my mask. I know I said I'd never wear this, but in the gym,
I was just trying to encourage you to follow the rules and wear your mask.
That's right. So I gotta probably do that. Let's move into some lifter spotlight stuff here. Perfect. Ashley has a couple female lifters here. We're gonna start with I don't know how to pronounce this girl's last name.
I'm not sure either.
SGRO. Laura Scro?
Scro.
I put together this little compilation of her lifts, and I think she's Australian. From Australia?
Yeah, she's from Australia.
Yeah.
Sydney, Australia, yeah.
So.
This is Laura Scro, we believe, SGRO. She is nicknamed Pocket Rocket. She competes in the 132 weight class. She's, really small but so powerful. She lives in Sydney and is coached by the owner of Power Elite, Scott Hill. Here's her Her squat.
Squat.
463 pounds. Very, very impressive, especially at 132. Amazing numbers for anyone, let alone somebody who's that light. She's a 2-time Pro Raw Arnold Classic first place lifter and 1-time second place. She's ranked number 1 in the 132 weight class in Australia. She also actually competed in bodybuilding for 4 years also. Just a very solid lifter. I'm very impressed. Here's 248, incredible bench press.
How much does she weigh again?
She's in the 132 weight class.
Jeez.
Yeah.
And then a little
Very
deadlift
strong
here.
Deadlifter, yeah.
Yeah, 429.
Mm-hmm.
All these lifts these women do make me feel like a puny little man. Jesus.
It's amazing how strong women are getting. I mean,
And these
we
women
used
all
to
compete
see
at the
this
big
back
show
when I
here. This
first
is U.S.
started.
Open, obviously. This was the best, and the best are going to come out and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for her.
Very
Awesome.
amazing. Very impressive lifter.
Last week we were advised of a female
somebody
bench presser
mentioned-
that was a 400-pound, I believe they said raw lifter, so we had to Google it up and look it up. She's not a raw lifter. She's lifting in the Killer Bee Bench Daddy shirt.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, because
That
Mike
was
Womack,
Atlas.
Mike
Okay.
Womack's at the end of the video talking about it.
Okay.
But if she puts up a 400 bench here
400.
at 16 years old,
16. That's an amazing bench press for anybody, let alone.
nice build up, and I mean the bar flies out of her hands. Yeah,
She's just got more in the tank.
more in the tank,
So
definitely.
very impressive.
So we want to showcase her a little bit. We're going to keep moving on fast here. We got so much to talk about. My lifter spotlight of the week is Josh Morris. I know my handoff guy, Robert Gormis, trained with him back east, and he's always impressed me. He's a big man. I think he's in the 400-pound range, but the son of a bitch shows up to lift, and he's one of the guys I would definitely like to have on my crew. I see his videos all the time, so today I took not necessarily his best lifts, and in fact, one of the lifts here is a 2016 meet. But the guy is just intense. He's bulletproof, and he's a strong SOB. And I just want to showcase him here. He's had a few injuries I've seen, a bicep or a tricep, but the guy bounces back, and he doesn't screw around. Playing with 500 here, I mean, that's nothing for him. It's chicken feed.
Wow.
Does a little 600 here. I believe he's got a little bench daddy on, but I always stop and watch his videos anytime I see them on Facebook. This is one of his meets from 2016, I believe. Yeah, it was a while back, but it was a great quality video, and I just wanted to post it. I mean, the guy's a beast, man. Never met the man before, but somewhere down the road, I'd like to cross paths with him and get a training session in with him. Definitely not on squat or deadlift, but bench. But this guy's a hoss. Nice depth. Jesus. When this guy comes to the gym, he's not coming to get a pump. He's coming to kick ass. And that's what I like about the intensity and of some of these lifters that we post here. Plays with weights, man. Plays with weights like a toy. 606. I know a little bit of background on him, but not a whole bunch. But I see him on Facebook quite often, and I wanted to showcase some of his talents here. 606, looks pretty easy. Boom. Then we're going to pull an 826, probably like an empty bar. I mean, this guy's a power lifter. He's a 3-lift lifter, man. This guy can do this all day.
Easy.
Yeah.
Very solid.
So I just want to showcase him a little bit. We're going to take a U-turn here a little bit, and we're going to do something kind of funny. I saw this on Facebook today. It was right before lunch. I was really...
Mayonnaise thing?
Huh?
Mayonnaise thing?
Mayonnaise, yeah. Right before lunch, and this lady's a world record holder in her own right. It intrigued me and interested me because I like what she's eating, but in very small amounts. But this lady here takes it to the whole
pretty sick.
another level. But it intrigued me. Let's watch this. She's in the Guinness World Records for eating mayonnaise. So it's like a world record. What the F? I was impressed. And so that's why I wanted to show this. It has nothing to do with lifting, but hey, everybody's got special talent. Hey, I was impressed. You don't see that every day. I mean, my hat's off to her. I mean, she's definitely she's got a talent. It's a weird talent.
Disgusting, yeah.
Hey, competitive eating. I mean, I used to eat, nine meals a day.
I mean, hot dogs and pie and
mayonnaise. Think about it.
But mayonnaise.
Yeah, that. Yeah, I'm not hungry now. I don't know if dinner's ready later, but I'm not really interested in food. No. I wanted to. Did anybody take notice of the T-shirts we're wearing today? Dark Side Ironwear. I happen to have gotten a toy in here last few days ago. Sorry about that. This is the Viper. Great, a new advanced bench shirt of the 2020 era, and had a chance to use it in training the other night, and I was really impressed with it. It's going to take a little practice, just like any shirts, but it was definitely similar to the Slingshot, but definitely on some heavy supplementation. It's very extreme, and I'm looking forward to utilizing it in training and putting it to the test and seeing what kind of weight that shirt can handle. And but I was overly impressed, and I thank John Ellick for sending the shirts out, and wanted to plug his bench shirt today. Should we move into some questions? I got a whole bunch of questions over here. Yeah. Let's start at the top.
You want me to read the comments or just the
we'll start with the comments.
So
what up,
John
Bench Smith?
John Smith. What up, Bench Pimp? Hi, John. How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Remy Shirley wants to know, kind of a personal question, but when you broke world records, what kind of money were you making? Was it good money or just enough to support your powerlifting as a hobby?
It was mad money. It was fun. 30 grand a year. I mean, with the Ukraine meet, one of my best years was 2007. I mean, I was doing cash meets, It would be the Mendelson Classic, the Arnold Classic, the Bench Bash for cash, and then we'd fly us over to Ukraine where I won 20 grand in cash, and then Kieran Kidder paid me for the Arnold that year. I mean, that year, at the end of the year, I walked away with over 30 grand, and that's just bench pressing. But that was 2007 now. Remember what happened in 2008 when the economy went kaput? Prize money went gone too, and big cash meets weren't happening anymore, and if they were, I mean, they were putting up, 2,000, but you get a freaking airline ticket and you got to fly 3 of your buddies out to hand off for you and rental car. I mean, it was almost breaking even. So the big cash wasn't there and until later on in the years to come. The Raw world would conquer that when the bench, the one in Australia, Big Boss or whatever, they put 50 grand up for the Bossa Bosses and and Kern or whatever, where they put up the big money for that. But bench meets were for cash. And my understanding is next April, Meta Militia is throwing a bench cash by formula, I believe, heavyweight and lightweight, April 21st. I've been getting a little information about that. Hopefully be able to come out there and do that and see if we can take home 5 grand. That'd be fun. Next question.
Mr. Elite Entertainment says Traptastic book.
Hey, Traptastic book. I like it. Yeah.
Referring to Todd Becraft's Trap Chronicles. Great book. Definitely. Paul Mercado. What up, Benchmonster Mercado?
What up, Paul?
Nathan Brandhorst.
I know him.
Why are you skipping deadlift day, old man?
I don't like it. I don't like deadlift.
You haven't done it in a long time.
Last time I did it.
It's been weeks. You were kind of doing it every now and then. Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Well, I like to come over when you got the bar loaded, so I don't have to put weight on it.
I have the bar loaded twice a week. I don't ever see you come over.
Well, okay, so
it's all loaded up for you.
I don't like to lift. I suck at it, and it doesn't better my bench, and I don't.
But it makes you stronger. Makes you better.
Does it? Yeah. It seems like a lot of work. I just like to do one thing, and that's just bench, but I know I need to do it. I'll start doing it. I promise. I'm coming. Yeah, I'm gonna do something in the deadlifts one day.
There's no point to being alive if you can't deadlift.
I can deadlift.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit.
But you don't.
Well, hey, my back has still got a 660 in it, and I've done that before, and I can do it again. if not more. I just use proper technique and the Westside methods. Because
Yeah,
back when I trained for it, I would train it for 4 weeks, and it was just a show off for a girl. So I got
You never show off for me.
I got to find motivation to do a deadlift.
You're not motivated to show off for me?
Well, no, not when I come over where you are, and then you frickin' break out your calculator and say, "Oh, 3-time body, you got to do 900 to equal what I'm doing." I can't pull 900. I'll be in a wheelchair after 900. Yeah, pound for pound. I'm tired of hearing that shit. That's all you ever throw at me is you take my body weight, you calculate it in your little frickin' phone, and tell me what you're pulling is equal to me pulling.
I'd just like to inform you on the situation.
I'm getting hot and bothered about this damn deadlift.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you for reaching
out.
Todd
Becraft was a wrestler. Yeah, well, and we'll cover that when we have him on the show, definitely. Yosef Arab. Yep.
What was your diet like back in the day, and what do you advise me as for diet to reach elite bench numbers and be big? I bench 275 at 55 pounds and 18 years old. Much love from Syria.
Wow, super cool.
Very
Yosef.
Cool, yeah.
Basically you got to incorporate more calories. I mean, we got to get you bigger. If you're 155 pounds of body weight, I don't know how many meals you're eating a day, solid meals, but you need to find a higher caloric protein shake of some kind to incorporate in between those solid meals. And I'm not saying just jump in and start eating 4 shakes a day, but throw one shake in till your body and your stomach acclimate to holding that amount of food, and then throw another shake in. And then pretty soon you have your calories up to over 5,000. And you have to maintain that and continue to do that. But you also have to train hard. You can't just eat a bunch of food and half-ass your training, because you'll get fat in certain areas and it's not good. I know you're a young man, but time to put on weight and eat quality food, quality fats and carbohydrates, and make sure you're doing the correct reps, sets, and techniques in the gym. And then it all boils down to genetics, Yosef. I mean, if your mom and dad are not, gigantic big people like my parents are, they're all fat and big. And so I have genetic disposition to put on a lot of weight. So it just depends genetically what, the proof's in the pudding sort of thing. So you got to kind of look in your own background.
Your dad is. Your mom's not.
Well,
it's your dad. Your dad
okay,
is.
They're big boned.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just genetics plays a big factor. Alex
Escobar. Julius Maddox is the new bench king.
Yeah, has been.
He has been for a while. That's not really new news. He's been bench king for when did
since he did 739 or 740. A year ago. Yeah, he beat Kirill.
Sam, could you give a brief overview of how you adjusted your geared training leading to a competition, specifically that last month? Example, Circumax, etc. Thanks, brother.
Well, nobody knows this, but when I was in the Phenom shirt in 2007 and 8 and doing those 1,000-pound bench presses in 7 meets a year, I actually neglected speed benching 5 weeks out from a meet. I actually dropped it, and I would come in and not do speed benching, but I would just work on form and dumbbells, and usually no more than 315 on the bench, and I would just practice pretending it was 1,000 pounds, arching, getting the arch right, and bringing it down. But basically the training consisted of 6 weeks out. I would do a 4-board, and I would use what's called a board shirt. A board shirt is a shirt that you cannot touch in, but basically you can get it to a board, like a 2 or 3 board, and that's it. So basically you can overload the amount of weight you put on there and work it off a board and train that amount of crazy overload at the top. So I would do a 4-board 1,100, a 3-board 1,000, a 2-board 1,000. I would deload, then I would do my opener to a 1-board in a shirt, and then I would go to a contest the next week. Never touched in training. I mean, I knew the shirt. I knew where the bar was going to land. I mean, I was a seasoned lifter, though. I'm not recommending that for everybody, but I just had it down, and I did it over and over consistently. And that's what it takes to be the best. You have to practice and practice and practice, and get comfortable in the gear that you're wearing, and stick with the same bench shirt that you're wearing, because that's how you're gonna become better. Don't switch around one shirt here, a different shirt there. Stick with one thing and put 110% into it. Karen Rose.
Seeing if you have the Monster Muscle magazine from 2004 with Chuck Vogapol on the cover. I have not been able to find it anywhere.
I bet up in my other house an hour away, I have all my Powerlifting USA magazines. I bet I have it there. I'm pretty sure I do, because I had every issue, because Lambert would send those out to me monthly, and I got every issue there is. So I'm pretty sure I have that one.
Mr. Elite Entertainment. You should check out Joel Waldman, another old school strongman with a huge neck. His routine added 2 inches to my neck in just over a month.
We'll Google him for the next episode and check that out for sure. Thank you, Mr. Elite.
Sounds good. Howard Weingarten. I just ordered a Bench Daddy shirt and looking forward to getting it. Just wondering if you got your new one.
I have not. I'm not going to bother Mike Womack. I know he's busy. He wanted me to text him the information about a size 56 is what I'm getting, and I have a 52, but it was just too much. Wasn't able to perform the lifts correctly, so I'm still waiting, and I'm not going to bother him. I'm patient, especially right now with COVID and no gyms, and we're in phase 1 in Washington. We're never going to see an open gym here in a long time. So, I mean, it sucks. So hopefully soon. But I've lost hope at this point. I mean, our COVID cases are super high here, and our governor's a dick.
He said something about we're moving into modified phase 1. I just
1.5.
What does that mean? It didn't call it 1.5. It just called it
I don't know, man.
Modified phase 1.
I just hate to. I one day at a time.
I know.
Yeah.
At least, so Mr. Elite Entertainment says at least, where'd it go? At least the spotting story isn't as bad as the Brian Siders story. Not even close.
Well,
no, it's not. And you rip ass all the time during your workouts. We just didn't happen to get yours on video.
Yeah. But hey, I
just happened to want a video that set to see what my form was looking like.
Hey, I'm considerate to other lifters, and so I got 75 bottles of $80 plus cologne in this house, and I usually douse it on my T-shirt.
If you ever see him going like this in the gym, you know he just farted and he's trying to wave.
Yeah.
And you'll see that quite often. So.
I'm a walking incense, so if I do happen to
it doesn't work
pass gas by accident, which happens quite often with my diet, then I just do this, and then it smells
Johnny
like Versace cologne
covered in Versace or Calvin Klein.
Yeah. Hey, so it's fragrant in the gym. I mean, other people, whatever. But I do my own thing, and I'm considerate to others, and I respect other lifters in the gym that don't want to smell my putrid mess.
You don't give me that respect. I smell your putrid mess all the time.
And what did you do to me? You got no room to talk. Next question,
payback.
Please.
It was just a little bit of payback.
Next question,
all right,
John Smith.
I digress. Okay, when your nose exploded in the road to the Arnold, was that a doctor that grabbed your nose with the towel? What did he say to you? Just wondering.
Don't remember. I stood up and the music's going, crowds. He just put the thing on there and told me to stop. And, I don't remember what he said because, I think it was a second attempt and I want to get back and sit down and rest because the third attempt was coming up. So I don't really remember. I just know he stopped me and tried to stop the bleeding, which it would stop, but he looked like he was not enthused to have to do that. And if I remember correctly from the video, but that was his job for the day.
Congrats on Mr. Elite Entertainment. Thanks, you just put me off mayonnaise.
Sorry about that.
Right?
I didn't want to post that, but I thought it'd be fun. You never know what I'm going to do on the show, and just be prepared. Keep your guard up, because you never know what I'm going to throw at you. It's my show, and I have fun. Art Ramsey.
Art Ramsey, congrats on a great career. Have you
tried any of Mike Womack's new bench shirts? Art Ramsey, long time no see, man. Jeez, where's time go? Art Ramsey, when I think of your name, I think of Paul Roch, my handoff guy, because every meet we went to, Paul Roch would say that if that damn Art Ramsey's there, I'm going to lose to. He was always going to lose to you in the bench, and he was always bitching about Art Ramsey. Never forget it. Because Art, you're a great lifter, but my handoff guy was a little upset if you were going to be at the meet and he saw you on the roster. But yes, I have. I got one of Mike Womack's bench daddies, and it was a little too small, and it didn't work. But I've put in an order for a 2 sizes up, and I know it'll work because my handoff guy that I train with now has a 56 triple, and it works like a charm. So I'm looking forward to getting it, and we'll see what happens. Navy P.
How was your training week? Can we see some footage?
Well, training week was okay. I can't post any footage. I can't go into detail. It's not yet anyway. It's nothing exciting, but I usually post a speed bench or something, and I don't have anything to post. There'll be more to that as we go on. Hopefully I get a video or two. I'm sorry I don't have one this week, but the circumstances which I can't control. You got to remember, here in Washington State, we're not allowed to work out at a gym, have an open gym, because what happens is they can get a $10,000 fine and all this other bullshit that they have going on here. It's all right to go out and protest in the street and rally and have all these people side by side, but God forbid you go to a gym. So I just don't understand the thinking behind that, and there's nothing I can do about it except roll with the punches and bitch about it. And I wish our governor was here like he was a few days ago. I'd have walked up and threw tomatoes and eggs at him, that son of a bitch. Yeah. But anyway.
Sounds like Tri-Cityans didn't give him the warmest welcome.
Yeah, he was here and got heckled off stage. He deserves it, a piece of shit. So that's Jay Inslee, if anybody's curious, Governor of Washington. Not for long.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Vote him out.
Paul Nicholson.
April 10th, 2021, Metal Militia Bench Cash Meet at the Fort William Henry Hotel in Lake George, New York.
I'd like to say I'll be there. Between now and then, there's a lot of time, and it just depends on getting my crew back, getting in our gym, and then making things happen. It's just so unpredictable right now. How can you plan a future with, I can't say I'm going to a meet in August. We don't know. We can't train optimally right now. It's just maintenance stuff, and it just sucks, man. I mean, it's hard times, man, and we do the best I can, and I try to do the best I can with what I got, and say la vie.
Olympus lifting. Do you ever run the 6x6, 8x8, 10x10? If so, do you do it at a percentage, and if so, what percentage?
We usually do it on speed day, and 6, 8, 8, 10, 10, usually with bands, chains, alternated. I try to use a wide or illegal wide grips on those also, and I usually use between 50 and 60% bar weight, and then resistance and short rest periods. So there's a balance there. You can't use super heavy weight in short rest periods because you'll just fall apart. So I try to do something where we keep the force rep range in between 0.8 meters per second on the concentric phase, fast, explosive, and back to back, especially the 10 sets of 10, which is a son of a bitch. I mean, last time that I had a great training session of 10 sets of 10, we had 315 and one chain, which is 40 pounds of chain, and a training partner by the name of Tim Smith. We filmed it on Facebook a couple of years. It was years back. But the 10 sets of 10, I thought I was going to die. I mean, they were back-to-back. It was, after it was said and done, 10 sets of 10 with 315 in the chain, and, it was over 31,500 pounds of volume, and we did it in 12 or 15 minutes. So that was a son of a bitch of a workout. Yeah, but still do it. Like I said, usually 50, 60% bar weight, 25% band tension, and with the wide and legal wide grips, I just go by feel on those. 6 sets of 6. I try to make sure that my 6th rep is roughly my last rep. 8th rep is roughly, but not too heavy, but not too light. You got to find a balance in between. Mr. Elite.
Julius made a video saying his promoters didn't pay him for his 800 bench press attempt.
That's sad to see happen, but something I'm familiar with. We've seen promoters in the past, not going to mention any names, stiff athletes on their money. And I'm not going to say who, but it's happened. And, in this business, you can be a handshake and a word of mouth agreement, don't go very far. Even contracts, I mean, it's when somebody offers you money. I mean, back in my day, I would people would call me up and I'd say, hey, I want this, and $1,000 to show up, airline, hotel, and I was getting it. So you don't really necessarily need an agent. I didn't have one. I just I let my lifting do the talking, and nobody stiffed me. Well, I got stiffed. I mean, a lot of lifters got stiffed, but I ended up getting paid. I'm not going to go into detail, but it sucks. But better days are coming for Julius. Somebody's going to pay him over $100 grand for that 800 bench, and he'll be sitting pretty.
Get it, yeah,
there's no doubt in my mind. But shit happens, man, in this game.
Remy Shirley, a lot of pro benchers have gone to arm wrestling like Spoto and Mendy. Have you considered giving it a shot?
Like I said, did it when I was younger and hustled pool halls and bars. And then I gave it up and focused. This was 97, 98, then got more into the bench pressing side. Then I tried to come back and pick it up where I left off and almost ripped my rotator cuff. So it's either one or the other. I'm not going to half-ass bench pressing and 50% in arm wrestling. It'd have to be one or the other. And I just can't commit to full-time arm wrestling. I love bench. I love the new shirts that are out, the Vipers, the Krugers, the Bench Daddies. So it's kind of an enlightening experience that's going on right now in the bench press world. And it's like I said, with these new shirts out, 1,000-pound bench presses are going to be commonplace, next year. And we saw that the past weekend with two 2,000-pound plus benches. So, I mean, it's going to be fun. I mean, What can you say?
Remy Shirley again. You got massive arms. Come on.
Like I said, man, I have to. I can't just hop onto an arm wrestling stage and do it. I have to actually train for it, and it'd be a total commitment thing. But it doesn't interest me, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm sure it's. It just doesn't give me an adrenaline rush. You know, getting under the bench bar with 1,000 pounds on it is kind of a sickening psychedelic rush of endorphins. So that's what tickles my feather at the moment. Crypt Keeper.
I just had a shower thought on the toilet. If everything cost money, even old phone booths and parking meters, why are public toilets offering free toilet paper? It should be like a vending machine. I'm glad it's free, but I'm surprised, honestly.
Hey, that's a brain twister.
Especially right now.
Yeah, that's a brain twister. Yeah, interesting food for thought there.
Don't give them any ideas.
Yeah.
Let's see.
John Smith, need Paul Roch back again? Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, I know. I miss
Paul
him.
Roch is about to retire.
He's so funny.
And
just an entertaining guy.
I think he wants to tour the country. But somebody said he was going to come back to lifting. I don't know what state that'll be, but hey, if he walks through the door in the gym, believe me, it'll be on film and we'll have it on here. So.
Oh, here we go. Have you tried tricep pushdowns using a medicine ball?
Yep.
I saw this exercise from Westside. I love that.
Yeah,
It's
we
one
do
of my
them.
favorite tricep exercises.
Do them two ways. Fingertips.
We do them on the assisted
lat pull down machine.
dip machine, lap pull down
Yeah.
and dip machine, and you put the dip or the assister pad out, and you put the medicine ball. Those are great.
Fingertips down like this.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
I do 10 with my fingertips, and then 10 like
10 anchored
flat,
over it. Yeah. Yeah. We do those.
Very good.
Where are we at?
Jared Gaddis. Darkside has the best wrist wraps. Violators are awesome.
I believe I have those.
Which brings up
an
another good
interesting point. Yeah. We're going to be doing some giveaways on here, and I have some wrist wraps right now. My question to you people is, how should I do this giveaway? Should we do like trivia? Should we do like a raffle?
We're looking for any kind of suggestions. Those are a couple that we have, but if you guys in the chat box come up with any ideas for what would be a good idea for getting winners to earn or win these wraps.
We've been throwing this around.
Let us know.
Yeah, there's my email on there. If anybody has any ideas, we're going to keep it within the 50 states of the United States. I have to come out of pocket for these wrist wraps. I'm not complaining. I'd love to do it because I want to give back to you guys. And I do have 7 pairs of wrist wraps here from, I believe they're Overkill wrist wraps. Yeah. And the reason I brought them into the gym and my guys really liked them, and we'll showcase them next week maybe. But I just want to know how we should do giveaways on here. Should we do?
If you have any suggestions, throw them out.
Yeah, trivia. I mean, what was my second attempt on my 1,075 day?
That might be a fun way.
Or
if you guys have better ideas.
We can put numbers in a hat and just pull out a number and then pick the 10th question down, and we'll try to figure out a way. But I want to get back to you guys. So hopefully,
if you have any ideas, shoot them at us, and then if we get several good ones, maybe next week we'll do a vote or something.
Thanks for the wrist wrap comment. Now that kind of
reminded us. Oh yeah, we forgot
to
bring that.
I wanted to ask you guys. So
I went to do it at the very beginning so that people could have time to think and but that's all right. Shoot us your suggestions.
The guy over in Syria, if I had to send him some wrist wraps, I don't know what the shipping charge with that. Man, I'm not a rich man. Okay, I'm the bench presser personal trainer. I own some dryland wheat. And I subcontract that out. I'm not exactly rolling in cash. I wish I was. I wish. I always said if bench pressing paid like NFL players or pro bass fishermen, $1 million contracts, I definitely would have had one in the past, and I'd have something to show for it. I do have a lot to show for it. I made a lot of money, and I'm not complaining. But I just especially right now with being out of work per se, and just this downtime with COVID and not able to move and shake like I do. It's just it just sucks, but hey, I made the bite and got some wrist wraps, and I wanna give them out and in some way, shape, or form. So we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Paul Mercado?
They're moving. Every time I warm up on bench, I always go through shoulder pain, but when I get to my heavier sets, it goes away. What can I do to help my shoulders from having pain when I warm up?
Depends on what's really going on in your shoulders. Is it overtraining? Is it a connective tissue issue? Is it Depends on what kind of pain it is. My advice to you, I mean, simple advice would be to put icy hot on and really heat the area up. Horse liniment, icy hot. I mean, Ricky Crane has some great liniment oil that I've gotten from him, and warming up thoroughly, rotator cuffs, side delts, and it's a weird one. I don't know if it's deeply internal in your shoulder, but you need to correct the issue because obviously your body's telling you something, and if you don't listen to it, you could pay a price, down the road. So if your body's telling you something, you need to address it. Olympus lifting. Dude, Ryan would be such a beast on the arm wrestling table. He would just need to build up over time. He has too much power. Yeah, so I have an arm wrestling technique, of how I do it, and I'm not going to tell anybody because then you're giving up your secrets, and they'll know they'll exploit your weakness. But I definitely had a technique back in the day, and I don't know if it even still works. But I really don't want to go up against somebody and try and find out, and then have a rotator cuff injury, and then I can't bench, and just trying to show off again. So I don't know. I don't think arm wrestling is in my near future. I'm just going to be honest.
How many reps can you blast with your breath held?
Depends on with what weight. 315, 225, 500. I mean, to give you a correct answer. Don't know. I mean, I try not to hold my breath unless it's a 1 rep max.
Chris Lancaster, been progressing my rolling dumbbells nicely, but I seem to be pressing a bit on the way back to the top versus a smooth roll back up. Is this to be expected?
Nope.
Love the dark side shirts.
Too heavy. Usually when you get to the top right here and you turn it, you can do it a pressing movement. Sometimes I do that too. I mean, you kind of cheat it at the top, but you really actually want to roll and kind of flex at the top like this. You don't want to roll here and then push. So if you're doing that, it's a little too heavy for your extensors there. So lighten the weight and practice form and go up accordingly when you can.
Oh, we got Tony Carlino.
No way.
Yeah, who
cool.
we showed a couple of his videos in Lifter Spotlight. Very impressive lifter. Hi, Tony.
He just got his Kruger shirt today.
He says, "What's up? Just got my Kruger shirt in today. I'm going to try it this Saturday. After this COVID crap is over, we need to get a training session together." Tony.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That'd be very cool.
Hey, Tony, where do you live at? Let me know where you live at so I can, in my daily travels, we can plan a trip to wherever you're living. And I would like to invite you out here, but there's really nothing to do out here. I'm sure you live in a better state and town than we live in. So, but definitely, I look forward to seeing your videos online with the Kruger. It's a different groove, but your body will figure it out, and hopefully it's tight enough to handle the loads you're going to put into it. And if it isn't, just get a hold of Mr. Farrell again and get a tighter shirt because, I mean, man, I don't want to bait you, but there, I mean, fuck, dude, I mean, 1,100. I mean, you're handling 1,000 in an overkill, and I mean, it takes a little practice. I mean, Georgia. Oh, awesome.
Marietta, Georgia.
Just
north of Atlanta.
Marietta, Georgia.
Sorry, cut you off. I saw that.
Marietta. That's where Cara Bohegan used to live, and John Grove used to have a gym down there, I believe, or was that Kennesaw? Man, yeah, definitely. Hell, I drove right through there on the way home from Florida one time. Cool. Yeah, we'll have to make a trip. Atlanta, come down.
Definitely.
After it's safe. I don't know if there's rioting going on down there or whatnot, so we'll have to wait till the earth is in a better place. But
things go back to a little more normal state.
And we'll come down and tear it up and bench. Fuck yeah.
Be fun.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh, I said the F word. Get excited. Bleep that out.
Beep.
Yeah.
All right. Remy Shirley, gotta include Canadian on your giveaway. Gotta include Canada on your giveaways.
Oh, we will.
Yesterday was Canada Day. Just saying.
Hey, I salute Canada, obviously. Vancouver, Saskatchewan, Toronto. I've never been to Toronto. I heard it's a beautiful city. But
yeah, it's supposed to be.
Yeah, definitely. Alex Estrada.
Ryan, whatever happened to Jamie Harris? The last thing I heard, he was doing Elvis impersonation.
He talks to me all the time on Facebook Messenger. He still lifts, does the Elvis impressions. He did some wrestling.
That's crazy.
And Big Evil, man. I used to watch him, when him and Anthony Clark are going head to head. Still got him on powerlifting video VHS tape when he was doing his 740 and his 760. And the guy was a beast, man. And he's just doing his own thing now in good spirits. And we chit-chat every once in a while on Messenger. Hey, we got to also let people know before people leave here that we have a guest next week.
Yes.
Yeah, let's put
Yeah.
I'm going to put a hold here just for a minute, just to let everybody know. I spoke with Tiny Meeker. He wanted to be the first guest on the show. So next Thursday, we are going to have the man himself, Tiny Meeker, on this show. Starting time for that show may be a little later. I talked to Tiny. He, I think he trains Thursday nights, and so we might be starting at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time,
We'll post it
or
when we
8.
know
We'll
for
post
sure.
it. But
Let you know
I
what
spoke
time
with him
it
today.
is.
He confirmed, and we'll tell some old war stories. We'll pick his brain on lifting, and I have some questions for him. I asked him on the phone, obviously, but how much he benched in high school, and what I benched in high school, and we traded some old, just fun questions. I think you guys will enjoy, and I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, we got some old war stories. I think he has some pictures of. I'm not going to get too much into it, but we'll have fun.
It'll be fun.
Yeah,
Definitely tune in.
We got Tiny next week.
Really
so.
cool guy. He's the guy that beat Ryan's record.
That's right, and I hope that we get that under control and figure out the Skype and have the microphone turned on like we did in the beginning.
Everything works.
God, I'm embarrassed.
It'll be our first time doing it,
Yeah,
so bear with us if it doesn't
should
go
work good.
smoothly. But we've practiced it a lot, so we're hoping.
Will you arm wrestle Mark Henry? Yeah, I'd arm wrestle him. I'm sure he's strong. He'd probably break my arm, but I really don't want to hold his hand, if you know what I'm saying. I'd rather, how do you say it nicely? I'd rather mix blood and saliva when I break his jaw. Is that all right to say, or is that too violent?
It's probably a little questionable.
He's got a big mouth, and somebody needs to shut him up. So, Marietta, Georgia, Montreal,
Yep.
Chris Lancaster. Hey, cool, man. Montreal, Canada. Jesus.
Crypt Keeper, YouTube Laughing Yoga, original by Yogi Ramesh Padney.
Crypt Keeper, play the keyboard. Yeah, I forgot to mention this is my recording studio down here. Got the this Yamaha Mo 6 synthesizer behind me. Over here, which you don't see until we turn the table and put a new flag on the wall. Got the MPC 2500 over here. That's linked up with the MPK Akai 249 MIDI device that runs into a Windows 10 there. And then what do we got back here? Oh, the turntables, the beasts over here. The Technique 1200 MK5s, got dual of those. Tractor Z Pro mixer, Rain mixer. I do some crazy things down here.
He also says, what do you record? Sing us a song.
I don't sing. I just make beats. And I do a lot of digital vinyl stuff where I take... and I'm going to post it pretty soon. I can take any audio recording off the internet, put it on vinyl, and scratch to it. So I'll make up a kooky little beat, a good synth-based beat, and then I'll scratch stuff to it. I'll be posting some of that pretty soon. I got a Mendelssohn one that's going to be really funny, and I practice it down here all the time. I just got to get the balls to put it on the internet. You guys will shit your pants. It's just all in good humor. I'm not a professional DJ by any means, but music is kind of a drug, and there's some head bobbing shit down here, let me tell you. I mean, I got a nice setup. I got over 20 grand in equipment here, so it's just one of my side little passions of things I like to do. So, is sample music and make we call them gangster beats?
Sure.
Yeah, this is actually the studio's called Under Wraps Records. What a buddy of mine gave me that coined that term down here. It's Under Wraps Records Studios. So, got a vocal booth around the corner. I mean, I don't sing by any means, but I can make some head bobbing shit. So. It's gotta have fun, man. Life's short, man. Do it all you can in a short time because you never know when it's gonna end.
John Smith wants to know, was Carpenter as much of a crybaby as everyone said he was, always complaining about records?
Bill Carpenter, or I don't know who we're talking about. Not that I'm aware of. I don't know Carpenter. Bill Carpenter was always a good guy. I mean, put on the Dubuque meet in Iowa. I mean, invited me out there and got me a hotel room. Always a nice guy.
Bill, yeah.
Bill. No, not that. I don't know anything about Bill. I mean, he's a cool cat. Put on a good show. I mean, I wish I could still go out there and do his show. But that's one thing too, about this channel here. You'll never see me or my guests or anybody bash people on here. This channel is all about positivity.
We keep it positive.
Yeah,
there's enough negativity and bashing.
Yeah, you're never gonna see me bash anybody.
We're gonna try to keep it pretty positive here.
If I do pick something apart, it's because if I see a technical flaw in a lift, I'll exploit it. But I'm not gonna sit here. I mean, that's what those bullshit powerlifting forums are for. To people post under fake names and talk shit about our lifters. We don't need any of that here. And just so everybody knows, man, we keep it positive, and that's what I'm going to promote here. And you'll never hear me bash anybody. So. Mendelssohn.
What do you sing? Record. What do you What do you record? Sing us a song.
Well, I have to kick on the turntables, and that'll be a different episode.
Maybe another episode.
Yeah,
this one's already going pretty long.
Yeah, this is over our limit, but it'll
wrap
be
up
funny.
These next few questions, but we'll save that for another episode.
Yeah, it's the only reason I did the Mendelsohn thing was because of the Mark Bell interview where he had Scott Mendelsohn on there, and Mendelsohn kind of, he talked some trash about me a little bit, and I saw Mark Bell at the Arnold, and I said, when am I going to be able to come on your show and counterpoint some of the issues that Mendelsohn brought up? And he took my information, and Mark Bell hasn't called me yet to fly me down there to be on his show. So I came home and I took that interview that Mark Bell did and chopped up all of Mendelsohn's little words, rephrased them, and put them on the turntables. And it's really funny. I think you guys really enjoy it. And there's no bad blood or anything, but it's something my spare time I do is try to make funky music and stuff. Not for everybody to listen to, but hey, a lot of my videos you see with some of the drum beats and stuff are stuff that I make and put on here to do intros and stuff. So just fun stuff.
Did you watch Scott Mendelsohn when he went into Pro-Am wrestling? Or arm wrestling, sorry.
Yeah, I did. In fact, we saw him at the Fit Expo.
We saw him at the LA Fit
yeah.
Expo.
He had a bad meet that day.
It didn't go good.
Didn't go well, but no, I definitely followed him.
We were supposed to go to dinner with him, but then it didn't go well. So.
Well,
or we were supposed to do something with him, weren't we?
And he's a strong son of a bitch. And I don't know if anybody knows, but Mendelsohn contacted me a week ago, and he wants me to fly down. And he's getting a Kruger shirt himself. I set him up. I didn't set him up, but I had Rob Farrell on Messenger, and I had Mendelsohn on text message, and I kind of set them up together, and Mendelsohn's going to get a shirt, and I'm going to come down, and he's inviting me down. I just got to find the time to do it in August, and we'll video that, and then Mendelsohn wants to have me on his podcast, so I'm sure we'll have some debates and some fun in a weird way, because Mendelsohn and I together are kind of fun. Yeah, we have a good time, and he's a good guy. But we'll have a bench session, and hopefully in August, because I got some airline credits to use.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, so definitely want to come down, and when it's safe, obviously, you don't want to come down there and COVID's high and dry right now. So,
all right.
Well, anyway,
what do you record? Grinder Benchmonster edition.
What do I record? No, I haven't done anything. I sampled some AC/DC music before, and I chopped it up a little bit so I could probably post it on Facebook or YouTube and not get copyright strikes, because I've taken out certain chords and replaced. But I don't know. We'll see. I haven't touched Grinder yet. I haven't done anything with Grinder. That's my favorite song. So, but we'll see. Hey, we done?
There's 2 more questions.
2 more questions. Okay.
And then we gotta
go. I gotta get some mayonnaise. I'm hungry.
Oh, another one. Okay. We got 3 more, and then
we'll 3 more. We gotta shut it down.
Up.
Till next week.
Mendelsohn said he was going to get back on the platform. Have you seen any new videos of him lifting?
Yeah, Mendelsohn's going to compete again. He didn't tell me exactly when, but when the time is right, he'll be out there. And he's a warrior. And when the time is right, and I think he was going to go to Florida for some reason, or New York, and do a meet. Maybe October, August. I don't quote me on that. I didn't ask him, but I'm more interested in coming down and training with him. I haven't seen him for so long. I mean, time just frickin' flies. Last time we saw him was in 2015. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of catching up to do, and some shenanigans to get into. I think we're not gonna go to Compton this time, but I think we'll go down. What's that? Hollywood Boulevard, Sunset, or somewhere. I'm sure the 2 of us, over 300 pounds, waddling down the street. Me in a feather boa, and we'll put him in a weird outfit too. And I think we'll be the talk of the town. So it'll be fun.
So.
Do stupid shit, man. That's what it's all about. Having fun.
Sounds entertaining.
Okay.
Was that video fake where Scott Mendelsohn benches a motorbike?
No, I didn't ask him that. I mean, he could do it. That's a 700-pound bike, I would assume, if not more. I'm not sure. I never asked him, but it was very easy, and it might have been on wires for all I know. I'll bring that up with him when I'm doing his podcast in a few months. I'll ask him about that. I'm sure he'll say he did it himself and it wasn't on wires, but we'll just have to take his word.
And then our last question here. Will we ever see a Mendelsohn Kennelly meet again?
Absolutely. I wish I could sit here and say it'll happen next year, and I could say those things, but if they ever come to fruition, you never know. I mean, when all the planets are aligned and we're all in sync, and we all show up at the same platform, and we're all at our prime, at our older age, and just go out there and have fun. And we're friends before we lift, but we enter the platform we're enemies and we hate each other, and that's how we lift. And then when it's over, we go drink Coronas and Crown Royals and
have a good time.
and have a good time. Yeah, and do stupid shit. Like, who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah. I might de-pants Mendelsohn in public. You never know what I'm going to do.
Let me know if you're going to do it so I can have a video.
Yeah, and we'll have to video it. It'll be funny.
And then that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Just a couple of thanks for this Saskatchewan shout out. That's my province.
Remy, right on, dude.
City of Saskatoon is home. Very cool. Very cool. And then many thanks both for the live stream. And thank you both. Really look forward to this show.
And remember,
thank you so much for tuning in.
Next week, Tiny Meeker. I'm excited. I'm going to pick his brain a little bit. It'll be fun. And we'll see what we can come up with for questions. And we'll answer some of your questions also on show. And we'll see how it goes, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm already losing sleep over it. I'm kind of excited. So
it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Excited about it, definitely.
Yeah. So on that note, like I said, everybody, be nice to each other. Stay safe out there. Wear your mask, and not just because people break wind. Do it because you want to stay safe. All right. God bless everybody.
Thank you for tuning in. We can't wait to see you guys next week.
Good night, everybody.